Good morning, guys. Yeah, it's a beautiful day out today, and I just thought that I'd share my gear that I use when I go out fishing. Every scenario is obviously different. It just depends on how long your fishing trip is going to be. The gear that I use on my fishing trip is for a short 5-6 hour fishing trip. So obviously it's going to be different depending on how long your trip is going to be, if you're going to sleep over or not, and also the conditions. Now it's important to be prepared. For me, it's better to travel light and to make sure that I have what I need for this fishing trip, the bare minimum. Long time ago I used to over prepare and pack everything that I anticipated that I might need on my fishing trip, but my fishing trips aren't that long. So also I know this fishing area, and I know approximately what I can expect. So I used to carry a lot of gear in the past, and that caused me to have pain in my back, and it just ruins one's fishing trip. So I like to travel light because I walk quite a long distance. I walk about 6, 7, 8 or 10 kilometers easily on one fishing trip, and also because I'm wading, I'm in and out the water, so it affects also you burn quite a lot of energy that you don't realize, because one is so focused on fishing that you don't realize how much how busy you are and how much activity you are doing. And for me, it's important to pack only the bare necessities, whatever I need to get the job done. So what I also do is I plan my trip ahead for the day, so I know approximately from where I'm going to start and where I'm going to end my fishing trip. So what I'd like to do is to park my car basically in the middle and use it as a halfway stop on my fishing trip, so that I don't have to walk that far. So I'll usually park my car in the middle of the let's say the stretch of water it's 2 or 3 kilometers stretch that you're going to fish. Then I park it right in the middle, so then I can just dash in and dash out if there's things that I really need that's urgent or whatever. So then I basically go downstream and start fishing, and then I can plan my fishing trip, so that if I want to eat something or so, then I can just, or need something extra that's unforeseen, then I can just go to my car and get it, so that then I don't have to walk that far. So it's important to pack only the stuff you need. Otherwise, I've regretted in the past where I had to go back and pack everything out in my car because it's just too heavy to carry with me. And also, every time you go on a fishing trip, it's a schlep many times to try and work out what am I going to need. So I've got all my stuff already set up. I basically just take my rod, my waders, and my fishing bag, and that's it. I know everything is already packed inside and ready for fishing. So without any further ado, let me show you what I carry on my trip. Obviously you need a landing net. It's important, not too big, because the area where I fish it's quite, as you can see, there's quite a lot of brushes and bushes, and sometimes you have to crouch to move from one area to another. And then a big net, if you have a big landing net, it can sometimes get tangled up or snagged. So this one works quite nice for me, and it just clips off like that, and I can use it. It's not in my way, it hangs behind my back. Also, I don't use a big rucksack or a fishing bag. This one is narrower than my shoulders, so it hangs behind me. Then if I walk, I have a lot of freedom without getting hung up on bushes and getting snagged myself. Another tool that I use is my Leatherman. Very important. It replaces a lot of extra tools. I can use it. I have the pliers that I can use for taking out hooks if needed. I've got a small scissor and also a knife. So this replaces a lot of tools. Then I have two fly boxes, not big, small, because I know this area in the river. I know what to expect basically, so I always just keep a few flies that I know that I'm going to use. Obviously, if you fish another area where you're not sure, then you have to take more flies and be prepared for unforeseen circumstances. So this is for my dry flies, and this is for this is basically nymphs and beadheads and streamers. And then I have my clippers that I use. Clippers. I have my fishing license, also important. Then what I do is the fluorocarbon that I use for it as a tippet, I usually just take it off the original reel and just wind it up around this little foam placeholder or whatever, and it saves also a lot of space. So I've got enough 6 to 8 pound fluorocarbon tippet if I get snagged or broken off. Then another important item is my split shot. Split shot that I use, one can't always be sure what the speed of the water is going to be. Sometimes I need a nymph to get down in the kill zone, or a beadhead to get down in the kill zone. And when you do a drift, many times with a dry dropper rig, sometimes the water flow is a bit much, and then the beadhead's not heavy enough. So it also helps to have a small little split shot that you can just attach quickly, and make sure that your fly or your dropper fly is going to be deep enough in the water. Also, another item that is important that you can, that is basically a necessity, also depending on how long your fishing trip is and how far you're going to be, how far you are away from civilization also plays a big role. Then you need a headlamp or a torch for whatever might happen. You never know. Where I'm fishing, there's a lot of houses and things not far away from here, so I don't have that problem, but I just bring it with any case. Another item that I use is glasses that I bring with. I work with microscopes and things every day, and look through lenses and work on a PC, and my eyes have gone quite bad the last few years, so tying small little knots can be a hassle. So I bring just reading glasses with to make it easier, because I hate to spend time wasting time on the water trying to make a knot on a small fly. So I always bring glasses with. And then my rod. This is my bamboo fly rod that I made. This is about a 7 foot 3 weight, 2/3 weight fly rod that I use. I have it already pre-rigged with a dry dropper rig. You can see my foam fly. I make my own flies, tie my own flies, and I use foam flies. So I don't use greaser for my dry flies. It's not really necessary for me, although if you only use feathers or other materials, then it helps to have that greaser for your dry fly, but I don't use it because I make foam flies for dry fly fishing. So you have your rod and reel, and then another item is a raincoat. Like today, the weather can change in an instant, and in the past I've also gone with other people fishing, and then they forget their raincoats, and it can quickly start raining, and that can really spoil your fishing trip if you're wet, and if there's a wind blowing, then you can get ill quite easily. So very important to take a raincoat with, even though it doesn't seem like it's going to rain, but always have it on hand, or leave it in your car at least, that if you need it, then you can quickly dash out and just get it. Then sunglasses, Polaroids, sunglasses, I use it especially when it's like today, with the white clouds, it can be a lot of glare on the water, or when it's sunny, it just helps to spot fish better. So I always get my sunglasses I take with. And then obviously waders. I take waders with because I have to get access to the fish and to angle myself in such a way, approach the fish properly. I use waders, especially here in the winter. It gets very cold, so even before winter, the water can turn very cold. So it's always good to feel comfortable with what you carry and with what you wear when you go fishing. That can really cause a trip to be pleasurable or unpleasant. The gear that I've shown you, it doesn't include my camera stuff that I use to make the videos. Obviously that's something separate, but even with that, I like to travel light and not to be restricted by things dangling from me or hanging in on my back and stuff like that. I like to move freely and feel that I can focus on the fishing and not to be hung up or stressed or worried about getting tangled up in bushes and things preventing me not to fish properly. Something I always take with is sunblock against the sun, because it can get very hot, and especially with the glare or the reflection of the sun on the water, can burn you in places that you don't expect. So it's always good to take sunblock with, because that can also spoil your trip if you get sunburn. And then another thing is here, in our area is a lot of nettles, and believe me, I've tried fishing with shorts, but after a day on the water and moving through nettles and brushes, you get burned, and I got burned a few times. It takes about a day or two for the tingling effect and the burning effect in your legs or in your arms or hands to go away. So I use long pants. It just protects you against the nettles that burns. So yeah, maybe in your area where you fish there's no nettles, so then it's not an issue. But here we have a lot of nettles, and it can be quite a pain when you get burnt by them. So I protect myself by using long pants or long shirts for that. So guys, I just wanted to share with you what I carry, and it's always good to be prepared, but make sure that you prepare, not over prepare, in the sense that you carry things that you don't really need, and which just adds to the weight that you are carrying. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video, and so I'm going to see if I can catch a fish now. Hopefully I'm going to move upstream. The weather is quite nice, so I haven't seen much activity on the water, but I'm going to move upstream and use my dry dropper rig and see if I can get some fish.